Okay, so the reason why being able to talk to the catcher is so important for us is our catcher runs our entire defense. Like, we do all the work at practice. We train them how to run the defense. We train them how to run the situational things. And then during the game, it's kind of on them to relay it to their teammates and to give that information there. But it's also helpful for us to be able to give them checks and cues during the game where we can say, hey, make sure we check this runner that's at third, or make sure we put this in a certain, predetermined situation. We call all of our cuts and pre-pitch sequences PDs. So we can kind of remind them, hey, we've got a 3-run lead. We don't care about that runner at first. We're going to run a different predetermined, or we're going to work through a situation. From a pitch calling perspective, it allows us to give them some extra cues that are kind of hard to put on a wristband. Like, hey, I want this pitch 3 balls off the plate instead of a ball on the plate. Or, hey, we're ahead of this kid and we beat them twice, go right at them on this pitch. It gives us a chance to really communicate that, things that you would say in the bullpen or you would say in drill work when you were at practice, that you can't really say during a game because every coach and every other player can hear you. So it allows us just to have a direct, straight line communication where they can know exactly what we want in that situation. You need equipment. The game has changed a lot. Video came into play probably 10 years ago. I started coaching 20 years ago, and we watched a little bit of film, but it wasn't anything major. About 10 years ago, video became really prevalent. You could literally use an iPad during practice, and you could turn around and watch it 30 seconds later while you were in the dugout. A couple years ago, the HSAA approved that we could use iPads in the dugout, and you could watch them during games. And so this is just that next line of communication between coaches and players and technology that really gives you an advantage against your opponents. If you don't embrace it and learn how to use it yourself, they're going to pass you because they're going to use those advantages in a way that's better than you. So you might as well get at the forefront of it, go ahead and embrace the technology and learn how to use it because it'll help you overall in the course of the game. So when we were looking for a system, something that we could communicate with our catchers, something we could communicate with our players, we wanted a system we knew was reliable. A lot of people talk about price points and those factors, but in reality, if it works all the time, it's always worth the value of it. And so when we went with CoachComm, we wanted a system that we really knew would work. I used it back when I coached football years ago. All of my headset systems were CoachComm systems. They were always reliable. They were always clear, easy for me to talk to my assistants on the sideline when I was in the box and things along those lines. And so when we were looking for systems, I contacted Gary and I contacted Coach McCracken and I said, hey, we need a system that I can talk to my catchers and I can feel comfortable with. The HSA is going to pass this. So we went with something we knew was reliable and dependable. The price point really didn't matter. I'm really looking forward to using this system. For me personally, I've had to yell numbers for the last 10 years to my catchers when we use the wristband call system. This is going to save my voice, give me a little bit, those 3 or 4 game tournament days where you're really talking a lot and you're communicating a lot. It's going to make it a lot easier for me from that perspective. There's nights where the crowd gets really loud. We play Central at home. Couple hundred people here, it's hard for catchers to hear me. You have to wait for the dugout to stop cheering so that the players can hear you on the field. So this is going to give me a better communication system where I know they can hear me and it's reliable and it's something we'll use on an everyday basis.